Good morning, people. This is Edward King, and this is one of my non-video audio presentations. It is very early in the morning, 3:39 a.m. I woke up from a good rest after supper. I'm once again fighting illness. Seems like in the winter I'm always fighting illness. That's the problem with winter this far north, when you're older and you have health issues. But yeah, to some extent I have health issues. I'm not totally unhealthy, I mean, I can perform some tasks, and there are some aspects of my prowess, I guess, as a man that are unaffected. But yes, I have a sore throat, and I don't know why, actually. I really dressed for the weather, but I guess the ice crystals that I was breathing in didn't agree with my system too well this time. But listen, please don't let me bore you here. I'm just fooling around and lamenting some of the ailing aspects of old age. I'm just checking something out here too. Yeah, the reason I have the camera pointed here is because I'm not really going to put on a show of myself here. I mean, I think people know what I look like, or if they want to, they can know what I look like by watching my other videos where I'm so disheveled as I get out of bed. But I've wasted 2 minutes of your time already, and I do apologize. Here's the deal. Here's the deal, some thoughts. There's a thing going on in society that has me concerned, and I'm going to make some statements. I'm going to pause and give you some time to think about some of these things, because we live in a society where there's a lot of confusion in the home. There's a lot of confusion in the family unit. There's a lot of confusion going on with respect to understanding one another's roles in the home, and pardon me, roles pertaining to responsibilities, responsibilities as an adolescent, responsibilities as a child. Yes, a child has some responsibilities. Okay, responsibility is a process that builds over time. Okay, responsibilities as an adult, responsibilities as a father, responsibilities as a mother. There's a lot of confusion going on. Oh, and did I dare say the G word, gender? Yeah, because you can't get away from gender, because guess what, folks? We're all genders. I would like to address most of this to young men, because if you're already old and you don't understand this, it's too late for you, okay? Unless you really embrace it all at once and accept it. And usually older men are set in their ways and they don't want to embrace anything, okay? They've already embraced their doctrine or their belief system. So, generally, if you're in your 50s and you're listening to this, you either agree or disagree, but, you're going to do your own thing, and you probably won't really be much affected by what I have to say. But I could be wrong. There could be some exceptions out there. Could be generally, there's always an exception. But I just, want to kind of keep a gender slant on this, because, maybe women would benefit from listening to this, but because they might actually learn how they should be toward their men and understand really how their men should be treated. Because a lot of women today don't even know how to treat their men. They don't get any of this programming at school. They don't get any of this programming in the home. They don't get any of this knowledge. Generally, they read all these neo-feminist books in the library, and then they wonder why their marriage is falling apart. Well, guess what? Neo-feminist tactics don't work. And we have to understand things from a very basic, natural, no-nonsense, pragmatic level if we're going to understand what works. What actually works. So there, I'm taking a pause on that. So what works? What works? Well, I want to explain a little bit about the basics of a working, functional home. In a working, functional home, the father is the head of the household. And what doesn't work is ignorance. And a lot of people don't really read a lot of history. They don't understand history. History is largely kept out of the public educational sectors because it's not politically correct. History is being revised and rewritten behind our backs so that we don't know what really happened, what really went on, because if we did, we might have an uprising on our hands. Oh yeah, history. And this is a serious problem. History and ancient civilization. Young man, learn it. Learn the folly of man. Learn how greed and lust and selfishness and complacency and bigotry take down nations. Learn. Learn. By all means, learn this, because your teachers aren't going to tell you. Okay? A good pastor might tell you. A good pastor. There aren't very many good pastors, by the way. Okay? Your psychologists aren't going to tell you. Your television sure isn't going to tell you. What your television tells you is what it wants you to know, what the people who back it, the buck, want you to know. So they're not going to tell you. Where are you going to get this information? Friend, you're going to get it from the library. You're going to get it on the internet. You're going to get it doing research, and hardcore research into the history of mankind, the history, ancient civilization. If you're not prepared to study ancient civilization, when your life blows up on you and you're looking around wondering what happened, you'll know what happened, because you didn't do the things to prevent those natural cycles that occur in every family, in every society, in every community when they are neglected. It's historical fact. History repeats over and over and over again. So traditionally, the man is the head of the household. Now, why is that? Because it works. And when the man is not the head of the household, it doesn't work. Okay? And when the man is not the head of the household and the woman is the head of the household, you have a dysfunctional family, and everyone in that family is compromised, seriously compromised. I don't care how much these neo-feminists think they're successful. They are greatly fooling themselves. They're living in denial, and their children, if they have any, are suffering immensely from the lack of a father figure and a head of the household. Now, being the head of the household, I need to address this. Men, being the head of the household is not easy. I think most of you know that. Okay? You are expected to be the decision maker. You are the one who finalizes the decisions that are being made in the home, and things that affect and impact the family. People have all these glamorous concepts or ideas about what it means to be the boss. And yeah, when you're the head of the household, you are the boss. Being a boss is not exactly fun. Hello? Are you listening? Being a boss is not exactly fun. You know, after a while, a man gets tired of being a boss. He gets tired of giving orders. He gets tired of feeling like a dictator. He gets tired of having to make all the difficult decisions. He gets tired of barking out orders to his children, to his wife. He gets tired of all this. He's a human being. You know what he wants to do? He wants to just relax and have fun with his companion, his wife. He wants to consider her his equal. He just wants fellowship and companionship with his wife. He doesn't want to make all these decisions. You know, he wants to let the wife do it for him or someone else do it for him. But, you know, after a while, the stress of being a boss, because you have to understand, being the boss, anything that goes wrong, guess what? Guess whose fault it is? Yours. It's your head. It's on your watch. You're the boss, after all. You're the one who's in control. You're the one who makes the decisions. Pausing on this one. Pausing. Now, the antithesis of this problem, being the boss, the opposite of this, and I really want you men out there to consider the alternative, because, you know, in this day of alternative thinking and alternative families and alternative circumstances, you know, maybe this will catch some of the ears of my more alternative-minded individuals. In an alternative sort of situation where mama wears the pants, they got a name for that. When the father figure, I guess if you want to call him father, not much of a father figure, when the man defers his authority, his headship to the woman, and lets her make all the important decisions and all that stuff, because, you know, his authority, you know, is, well, out the window. He's more like one of the kids. It's easier. Trust me, it's easier. I've been on both sides. I'm telling you right now, it's easier. Let someone else make the difficult decisions. It's easier. It's easier. Being a boss is not fun. But the antithesis, the opposite of this, is being a simp. And there is a group of people out there who are becoming vastly aware, vastly conscious at how this dynamic affects excuse me, I need a drink or something, man. My throat. Affects society. Now, here we are, Society 101. Societies are made up of communities, okay? And communities are made up of families, okay? So there are very large societies. There are, you know, like cities. A city is a large society, okay? A city is a large society where everybody is either loosely or more ingrained, all sort of together, you know, loosely bonded or loosely connected in some way, all right? Don't say you're not loosely connected to everyone else in the city when you live in the city. Yes, you are. If you take the bus, you're loosely connected to everyone in that city. You know, if you buy your food in that city, you're loosely connected to everyone in that city. Don't kid yourself. You are connected in some way. All right, so you're part of that society. All right, more or less. All right. Well, it's the same thing in a smaller community, in a town, in a village. You know, it matters not. It's still a community, and it is a society. Now, there's a society of people who are becoming very aware of something. And I'm going to tell you something. This society of people is going to rise up. They're going to rise up above the rest. I guarantee you this. And the reason they are going to do this is because they are aware of what I'm about to share with you. Now that we're, 15 minutes into the presentation, now I'm going to get into the nitty-gritty. Okay? The alternative to not being a boss, man, is to be a simp. That's your alternative. So you're either a boss or you're a simp. Take your pick, but you're one or the other. Okay? This really is a black and white thing. Yeah, there's the slide on over gray area, but either you are moving toward being a simp, okay? Being very simple and letting the wife make all the important decisions and difficult decisions, or you are a man, you are a boss, you are the head of your household, you're in charge, and you are making the difficult decisions and the main decisions impacting your family, which is your contribution to society, by the way. There is a group of people that really understand this. They're getting very aware of this, okay? They understand the dangers of simping, okay? And men, if you're going to start a family, you can't afford to be a simp. You cannot afford to be a simp. You cannot afford to be a little boy anymore, okay? Sure, you can play with your little toy cars. If you have a son, you can do your remote control little toy car games and stuff like that, your RC models and stuff like that, or whatever you're into, all right? But understand that you are a man and you cannot afford to be a simp, because societies where the women rule always, without exception, did you hear this? Always, without exception, fail. They implode. They cave in on themselves. They start to feed on themselves, and they create this big black hole, a vortex, and they die. They die for lack of headship, for the lack of a good man, for the lack of proper leadership in the family. They die, okay? Mark my words, men, check your history books, study ancient civilization. Every time, without exception, that society implodes. It dies, it falls apart, it doesn't grow. It doesn't develop. Why am I concerned? I'm concerned because I care. And I could see what's going on around me. And I really wish somebody had taken me as a young man and sat me down and talked with me, because I really feel like for me, it's too late. It's too late. Knowing what I know now, don't simp. Don't ever let a woman rule you. Don't ever let a woman ever do this to you, because not only does it hurt you, it hurts your children. It hurts society all around you. It hurts your friends. It hurts your community. It makes everything a living hell when you take orders from a woman. Don't do it. Don't do it. Now, this particular society I'm talking about, I'm telling you, these guys are on the ball. And their women are on the ball. And they understand that their husbands must rule. And they understand that their husbands must be there on the battlefront. They understand that their husbands have to be there looking out for their families. Keeping the wolves away from the door. Keeping the dogs away from the children. Are you getting this? Their women actually understand. Their women are you ready? Brace yourself. Submissive. Their women focus more on the children and on the needs of the home, and they can actually cook. They know how to actually process food properly, and feed their children healthy food, and to clothe their children, and to take care of their children. They haven't lost that art, that gift. Some of them can actually bake bread. Can you believe that? Yeah, that's right. They've got it down. They know how to be good mothers, and they know how to step aside for their man. And they're to be honored and respected and revered because they're rare. But you know what? This society is going to rise up above all the rest, I don't care. Listen, I don't care what kind of culture you are, what kind of ethnicity you come from. I don't care what you think you are, okay? That if you don't have these rules in place, if you don't have this system in place, your society is going to crumble and fall. Because you are hardwired genetically. You're hardwired right in your DNA to follow this process. And there's no getting away from it. And thousands of years of nature have proven over and over and over and over again that the only society that prospers and flourishes and benefits and continues is when that society actually addresses the fact that the man is the boss and that the woman takes orders from the man and obeys him and is submissive to him. Yes, that's right. And when that doesn't happen, we have all these social problems. Yes, that's right. And I had to learn this the hard way, friend. And I'm telling you right now, you really, man, seriously, this is so important. Don't be a simp. Don't be a simp. Young men, don't be a simp. Don't be a simp. Don't take orders from a woman. Don't ever take orders from a woman. Don't let a woman boss you around. Don't let a woman tell you what to do. You need to decide yourself what you have to do, and you need to pursue it. You can't be flaky about it. You know, you make a decision, you set a goal, and you pursue the goal, and you stay at it until that's accomplished, and then you move on to another goal. But you are the boss. Understand that. You are the boss in your family, in your household, and don't ever let a woman usurp your authority as a man. Because too much of this is going on. And we're seeing the effects of it, and we're seeing the hardship falling on the shoulders of society and our children as a result of fatherless households. Understand this. This is very serious. I'm not making this up. It's not easy. I know. I can't tell you how many times I just want to sit back and say, oh, let the wife decide. Oh, let the wife make the decision. You know what? I've paid for that throughout my life. I'm over 50-something years old. I've seen it. You don't let the wife decide. Okay? Here's what your wife, your employee, if you want to look at it that way, because that's what she's there for. She's to be your helpmeet. She's supposed to be your helper, okay? And she takes the benefits of having a roof over her head, some clothes on her back, okay, and some food on the table. That's what she takes the benefit from, all right? Okay. And her children. Her children, who should be her joy, her pride and joy. Her children, should bring joy to her heart all the time. Her children should be almost her reason for living. And if she hasn't got that right, there's something wrong with her. Her natural instincts have been seriously compromised as a woman. All right, don't worry about, you can't judge her by your grounds of what you value because you're a man. You'll never understand the joy a child brings to the heart of a mother. You're not a mother, you're a father. I'm not saying children don't bring joys to the hearts of their fathers. Of course they do, very much so, but it's male. It's different. It's really different. Okay, understand that. You never will understand what it means to give birth to a child. It's very different for a man. Okay? But her, trying to usurp your authority, or, oh, it's a two-headed household. It's a two-headed, come on. Do you see, a two-headed beast is an abomination. Come on. It's not a two-headed household. It's a single-headed household, and it's spearheaded by you, the man. And I know it's hard. I know it's easy just to let her make the decisions. I know it's much easier to just lay back, maybe crack open that cool one, set up your feet on the coffee table and slug back a cold one and watch the game or whatever you like to do. All right? And let the wife decide. But you're not being a man. You're being a simp. You're acting like a boy. You're acting like an obnoxious kid. You have to make the decisions in your home. You have to make those hard decisions. You can discuss them with your wife, your advisor, your quote-unquote employee, but you're the boss. You're the head of the corporation. You're the boss. And your word should be final. Your say should be final. Not hers, yours. These women put their hands on their hips and that's final. They're going down. Those are the ladies that wind up being cat ladies, you know. They're in trailers full of 30 cats urinating all over the place, and they're all alone doing themselves. Okay? I'm serious, I know, because I see it all the time. Obnoxious, rebellious women who do not accept the authority of their husbands. How they turn out, what they become, what example they set for society. No, understand this, young men, if you're listening, go to the library and get some history books and read about the downfall of ancient civilization and what happened before each one of those civilizations went down. Egypt, Greece, Rome, you name it. Watch what happens. What sort of corruption set in to bring down these once great nations? And every time you're going to find out that it's a confusion of roles. It's when the headship, the authority of the men falls. When men start bowing to women. When the queens start to take over instead of the king. Instead of the king. When the queen starts ruling instead of the king. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. Bloody Mary. Take a Queen Victoria. Look at these things. Learn. Look them up and learn. Learn. So the bottom line here is, there is a group of people surfacing, and they're well aware of the price of simping. And a simp is a man who bows to the authority of a woman. A simp is a man who falls on his knees before a woman. A simp is a man who worships a woman. A simp is actually, he's not even a man really, he's still a little boy. In his mentality, his wife is his mommy. Okay? He has not really progressed. He has not really developed. He has not really realized. He has not actualized. He's not a man yet. He's a simp. He's a simp. And this group, they use this word a lot, this group of people that I know, that I'm affiliated with, because they know what simping is. And I mean, we're immersed in it. It's all around us. Everywhere we look, we can see examples of simping. We need to man up and stop simping. All right. God bless you. I sure hope somebody got some benefit from this. God bless you. And understand, you need to be a man. You must not ever take orders from a woman. Ever. Under no conditions. It's so important now that you have to be extremist. It's that bad today in society. You don't have a choice. You have to be extremist now. Anything that even so much as looks like an order or sounds like an order out of the mouth of a woman, stop right there. Tell her, stop right there. Are you giving me an order? Because I don't take orders from women. This is what we have to do now. Is that an order? Because I don't take orders from women. I'm a man. And every time I do, it compromises my manhood. It's nothing personal, but I'm a man. And I am asserting my manhood. That's what you have to tell her. You have to tell her. She might tell you, well, you can assert your manhood right out the door. See, she's giving you another order. Do you see what's going on there? She's giving you another order. All right? You can tell her, look, I'm not going to dignify that because you're giving me another order. And I'm a man. I don't take orders from a woman. I take orders from a man. Because I'm a man. And you're disrespecting me. You are, this is what you got to do. You got to start saying, you're discriminating against me because I'm a man. You need to use that. Women know how to use that real good. You know what I mean? Time for the men to stand up and start using it. It's time for the men to take a stand for manhood. Because our society is in serious trouble. Serious trouble. And there's a group of people that's going to rise above all these simps. And I'm all for them, by the way. I applaud them. I commend them. Because finally somebody is aware of what's going on. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you for listening.